Hello, American Lit 2. I wanted to record a short video, and I'll also send a quick message to the class addressing just a couple of issues that I'm seeing arise more and more in reflections and discussions. So I just want to first of all acknowledge that it's often week 4 and 5 that is sort of an overwhelming moment in the semester where things start building up, first exams start happening, first essays are assigned, et cetera, et cetera. So I know that this is kind of a unique and overwhelming time of the semester. So that often leads us to perhaps try to take shortcuts. So I'm going to share the screen, look at the class real quick, kind of give you a reminder of how to read the assignments for the week, talk about avoiding plagiarism, whether blatant or the gray area plagiarism, and then just a reminder about quoting and citing sources, because that's something I'm going to be asking you to do more and more of in your weekly work. So let's look at our class. And I have it set in student view. So how I'm looking at it, it should be what you see. Remember to always look at our class in module mode. This is especially pertinent if you're looking at things on a tablet or phone. I think there's mass chaos if you look at it in any other way, because I designed the course using modules. So let's look at the week you're finishing up right now, week 4. Remember that the assignment, when you click on it, this will give you the details of what to read, watch, discuss, and write that week. So while the text list, as that's part of your syllabus, is helpful, sometimes I move things around a little bit or add a poem or remove a poem. So this is really what you want to go by week, is be sure to click on the assignment and see exactly what it is that you are supposed to be reading for the week ahead. There have been some issues in the last couple of weeks with folks reading other things or kind of something else in the textbook. Be sure to adhere to this assignment, because that also affects what's happening then in the reflection and the discussion. So the reflection assignment, I want you to look at this, and this week is a little unique. I added on, a little part 2 that was just kind of a general check-in. But when you look at the reflection, I'm asking you to typically write 2 reflections, looking at 2 different texts. When I say that one needs to come from your textbook, that means the readings from your textbook. I realized last week that maybe that's unclear, that maybe that direction makes you think like anything at all from your textbook. But what that means is the readings from your textbook for this week's assignment. And then the other reflection can be another piece of literature or one of the videos or supplemental readings for the week. At least one of the reflections should be tied to one of the selections from your textbook that's part of the week's assignment. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's why it's really important to know that week's assignment, because these reflection questions coincide with those readings. I've been commenting on this more and more. Soon it will be a requirement that you quote the texts and include in-text citations. So please be sure to be conscientious of that, that you're quoting the textbook, including the last name and page number of the author, or if it's biographical or introductory information, Levine and the page number, and then also citing any of the other sources that you might be responding to. So the reflection assignment is designed to show and prove that you've read the assignments, particularly perhaps in depth, 1 or 2 of the ones that you're responding to. And you can personally reflect, you can connect it to current events, other things we've read this semester, make some sort of connection. But these responses need to be your original thoughts, rooted in the text, and then your original thoughts and analyses about that text. This week, more than any other week, I've seen more like blatant plagiarism, where it's just kind of copied and pasted from other sources, and perhaps a little more gray area plagiarism, where specific ideas and maybe a few phrases here and there are clearly from another source. Please don't do that. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of my time too, to have to try to dig and find and make sure that I'm reading your original thoughts and your voice. But the reason that I design the reflection questions like I do is so that it is your original voice and your thoughts, not someone else's. So while I know that we're kind of getting to that point of the semester where things can kind of get really busy and reality sinks in, it coincided with us reading some things that are, pretty frequently taught in college literature courses. So perhaps it's very tempting to go to a free essay site, to LitCharts, to Course Hero, whatever it might be, and just kind of lift, okay, what do they say the symbolism is in the yellow wallpaper? I'm going to say the same thing. Please don't do that. I just can't stress enough that there's the direct effect to your grade. If it's blatant plagiarism, you'll get a 0 on the assignment. Typically in keeping with my syllabus, there's also conversations that might happen with student development to make sure that, this isn't happening in other classes, because it's an academic integrity issue. So please, even in these small assignments in the discussion forum, make sure that it is your voice and your original thoughts. I just can't stress that enough. It's been a week where I noticed, quite a few cases. And like I said, I explained, I understand the perfect storm of this point in the semester and some of the readings that we had, that perhaps it was just too tempting to just kind of regurgitate what some other website says about a story or a poem. But I would encourage you to completely avoid that the rest of the semester and think about these reflection assignments that I am asking you to root your reflection in the text, quote the text, point out things that you find interesting or noteworthy and analyze them, but also personally reflect, make connections to other things. These are designed so that it is your original thoughts and your voice. So I just can't stress that enough. To make sure you're trusting your own brain. It's very important. So as we move forward, be sure you're doing that. Be sure you're trusting your brain, that you're reading the readings closely and carefully, annotating your text, making notes, certainly looking things up that aren't clear to you and looking up references in the story, things that you want to learn more about. But don't just rest on your laurels and expect other websites to do the work for you. So that's that. Again, also expect to be asked to quote the text more often. And I will provide and remind you of some of the resources that we have online that can help you be sure that you're citing properly. So stay tuned for that. And again, pay close attention to what the assignment each week is, the specific readings. So you're not reading more or less than you're supposed to each week. I hope that things are going well. And if things are feeling a little rocky at this point in the semester, that you're reaching out, meeting with tutors, talking to your instructors about things that are unclear or don't make sense or that you need help with. That's why we're here. So please reach out and know that I'm available. I'm on Union Campus, but if you want to stop by, if you want to have a meeting, if you want to just talk about the class, about life, about school, I'm here. So please reach out, and I'll look forward to working with you the rest of the semester. Have a good one.